You know what's strange? Some of the most perceptive, emotionally intelligent people you will ever meet did not become that way because life was peaceful, stable, or easy. They became that way because at some point their environment demanded it. Long before they had the language for psychology, their nervous system was already learning how to read subtle changes in tone, facial expressions, silence, and tension just to stay one step ahead. And that is where this idea begins. What psychologists are starting to understand more clearly is that trauma does not only leave scars. In many cases, it also creates a very specific kind of intelligence, one that is quiet, adaptive, and often invisible from the outside. Some people call it traumatic intelligence, and if that phrase feels unfamiliar, the experience behind it probably is not. The first sign is that you can sense the emotional atmosphere of a room almost instantly. Before anyone explains what is happening, you already feel it. You notice the pause before someone answers, the shift in their posture, the forced smile that other people miss. This is not magic, and it is not you being dramatic. It is pattern recognition built through survival. Your brain learned early that emotional information mattered, so now it picks up what most people filter out. The second sign is that you are unusually good at predicting other people's reactions. You often know how someone will respond before they do. You can tell when a conversation is about to go wrong, when someone is hiding resentment, or when a conflict is brewing beneath the surface. From the outside, this may look like overthinking, but psychologically, it is often a form of anticipatory intelligence. Your mind was trained to simulate outcomes because once upon a time, being prepared reduced the cost of surprise. The third sign is that you become calm in chaos. When other people panic, something in you sharpens. You organize, adapt, and make decisions quickly. This can feel confusing because you may struggle with ordinary rest, yet function remarkably well in high-pressure moments. That paradox is not accidental. Many people, shaped by adversity, develop stress responses that become highly efficient under pressure. In simple terms, your nervous system knows what to do when things are unstable, because instability was once familiar territory. The fourth sign is that you understand human behavior at a depth that feels almost excessive. You do not just notice what people say, you study why they say it, what they avoid saying, and what their behavior reveals beneath the surface. You replay interactions and search for hidden motives, unmet needs, or emotional contradictions. That can be exhausting, but it also means you have become a careful observer of human nature. You learned early that understanding people was not just interesting, it was necessary. Consider this for a moment. None of these patterns usually feel flattering from the inside. They often feel like hypervigilance, exhaustion, or difficulty relaxing. But that is exactly why this matters. Because what feels like being too sensitive is often a mind that adapted faster than it should have had to. The fifth sign is that you are deeply self-reliant, sometimes to an extreme. You do not naturally expect rescue. Even when you are overwhelmed, your instinct is often to figure it out alone, quietly, without drawing attention to your need. Psychologically, this makes sense. When support was inconsistent, the brain learns to internalize competence. Dependence begins to feel risky, so capability becomes the safer identity. The sixth sign is that you feel both beauty and pain with unusual intensity. Music affects you deeply. Small acts of kindness stay with you. Injustice disturbs you more than it seems to disturb the people around you. This is one of the hidden costs and hidden strengths of traumatic intelligence. A nervous system shaped by heightened emotional exposure often becomes more sensitive not just to threat, but to meaning. You do not move through life numb. You move through it feeling more than most. The seventh sign is that trust is difficult for you, but loyalty is sacred. You do not open up quickly, and when people disappoint you, it lands hard. But when you finally decide someone is safe, your care runs deep. This is not coldness, it is discernment shaped by experience. Your mind learned that safety should be tested, not assumed. And the eighth sign, perhaps the most defining one, is that you carry a quiet seriousness about life. Even when you laugh, work, or function normally, there is often a deeper layer in you that does not take things lightly. You think about meaning, you think about consequences, you think about what pain does to people and what healing requires. That depth did not come from nowhere. It came from having to grow insight before you were ever ready. Here is the truth worth holding on to. Traumatic intelligence is not something to romanticize, because the sharpness came with a cost. But it is also not something to dismiss as damage alone. It is evidence that the human mind can adapt in extraordinary ways. The perceptiveness, emotional depth, pattern recognition, and resilience you carry are not random. They are the shape of a mind that learned quickly because it had to. And maybe the most important reframe is this. It is not that you are broken and happen to become insightful. It is that your insight was built inside the very process of surviving. Now, the real question is not whether those traits are real. The real question is whether you can begin to see them clearly, hold them with compassion, and use them in a life that no longer has to be lived in constant defense. If this video helped you understand yourself a little more deeply, subscribe to the channel for more psychology insights like this. Subscribe now and join us for more videos that uncover the hidden patterns behind human behavior and the mind.